one without the other.
Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that I'm very excited about. I'm going to be sharing with you all my top tips and tricks for hooded small eyes. If you guys are Asian or half Asian like me, then I'm sure that these are common problems that you run into. So I'm going to be coaching you through my best techniques and tips that I have. And you don't even have to be half Asian. You can be any ethnicity and have hooded eyes. So I really hope that this is helpful for some of you guys. And I'm also going to be sharing a lash curling technique so that you can really make the most out of your lashes and not have to worry about your lashes, you know, getting lost in the hood of your eye. So I'm very, very excited to share this with you guys. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And then I would also love it if you guys would come follow me on Instagram too, because you'll always find me on Instagram whenever I'm not here on my channel. Okay, so looking at you guys straight on, you can see my hooded eye shape. So here's the crease of the eye, and you know, when I'm looking straight on at you like this, it's like deep set in there. And really when you're looking straight at my eyes, you only see like a very thin band of my lid. Otherwise, it's all covered. And occasionally, my right eye will sometimes get a double hood. So the main hood is like right here, and then, you know, when I put my eye down, you can see it right there. But sometimes this eye skin will like pop in, and I'll just have like weird double hood action going. But that's what we're gonna be working with today. So depending on your eye shape, your eyes could be a little bit less hooded than mine or even more hooded than mine. So my first tip is going to be choosing the right lash curler and curling your lashes correctly. So I'm really partial to the sooo lash curler. It's just my absolute favorite because it has a really strong dip. This one's by Lancome. It's also got this really nice strong dip. I mentioned another one by Savvy as well. You want to go for the lash that has the more exaggerated dip rather than being more flat like this, because some lash curlers don't curve enough to actually hug a small eye correctly. So when you're shopping for your lash curler, I think it's more important to look at the lash curler from this angle. Like when you're looking at it, look at it from this angle and try to choose something with a really nice pronounced dip so that it can actually hug the lash and get the inner and outer corners of your eye. The next really important piece is curling your lashes correctly. You're gonna wanna walk the curler up the lashes. I'm gonna show you that technique, but if you just do the one clamp, you're gonna get an L-shaped lash and they're just gonna stick straight out, and it's not gonna be this beautiful, like voluptuous bend in the lash. And what I mean by that is if you guys, so your lashes go straight out of your eye. So if you just do one curl, then you're just gonna get something like this. Like you're just gonna curl your lashes straight up and they're gonna like splay out, and it's not gonna be a pretty curl. Whereas if you do a walking technique with the lash curler, you're gonna get a really pretty, soft, gradual, fluttery lash. So you want to avoid the one clamp because they're just gonna stick straight up and it's not gonna be as pretty. So basically, this is what happens when you just do the one clamp. When you do the walking technique, you're gonna get that nice graduation of a curl, and it's just gonna be so much more attractive and so much more feminine. So now I'll teach you. Okay, so I'll do it from the side so you guys can really see. You're gonna take your lash curler and you're gonna push it flush with your top eyelid. So you open it up all the way and push it flush, and you see how my lashes perked out of the top? Whereas if I don't push it flush, they're not gonna perk out. Push it flush and you'll see them perk out, and then you're just gonna lightly bounce the curler maybe like 2 or 3 times. You don't need to use a lot of pressure because you're just gonna break your lashes off. So push it flush with the eyelid, perk it up, 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna move the curler up just slightly, and we're gonna do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, again, 1, 2, 3. And each time you're moving it just a little bit higher on the lashes. And then once you get to the end, you're just gonna do it one more time. You don't wanna curl these end bits because then you'll just make them kind of like bend inward at the very end. But through the length of your lashes, I'd say for my length, I do it about 3 to 4 times, but you just wanna leave the end bits out, and then look how pretty of a soft curl that is, whereas versus just one clamp. I'll show you guys. So now you guys can see them side by side. This is the side where I just did the one clamp. They're like not really working. They're just kind of out there. whereas the side where we walked the lash curler up, it's so much prettier and the lashes are just fanned out better. They have a nice soft curve to them, whereas this side is just like, what? They're gonna, when I put mascara on this, they're just gonna stick up straight and they're not gonna have that nice bend. See, now I just did that on that eye and it makes the world of a difference if you do the pumps up the lash. In terms of eyeliner, I have drastically changed up the style of my eyeliner in a way that I think is more favorable to small and hooded eyes, just because I used to do a really aggressive, like exaggerated, thick winged eyeliner with liquid, and I thought it made my eyes look bigger and like accentuated the almond shape, and I was like, oh, it looks so good. But now I look back on photos and pictures and I was like, what were you thinking? Because if you think about it, when you have a hooded eye, there's already such little lid space that shows, and then, you know, this is like the most of the part of the eye that you're seeing. So when I just completely like plastered my lid in that thick liquid black liner, then when I was looking at people straight on, it looked like this whole part of the hood just like completely engulfed the eyelid, because it was just so dramatic, and I feel like it didn't look good. So I'm gonna take a brown pencil. This is the Marc Jacobs Allspice Skinny Gel Liner. And what I like to do is just gently kind of really push it into my eye as close as I can get to the lash line as possible without actually like bringing it too far up, because I want to show off as much of my lid as I can. Because once you start pulling this dark color up higher, you take away from your lid space even more. And then I take an angled brush and just soften the line again, because I feel like if it's too harsh, it just takes away from your lid space. So I really want it to be as soft as possible, and this just gives the illusion of a more fuller lash line. And I really like pulling the liner all the way to the inner corner up at the top, because I think it just accentuates the almond shape of the eye, and really just gives you like a more elongated eye shape. But you guys can see I'm really keeping the product where I put it and just kind of softening the line. I'm not pulling it up higher on the lid or trying to darken up the lid space, because you want to work with the little lid space that you have and don't completely engulf it in a dark color. That's why brown is better. It's a little bit more forgiving. So now you guys can see I added some definition to the eyes, but I'm not taking away from the little lid space that I have. Like, I still want you to be able to see the lid space that I do have. So I think this is the perfect amount of definition just for day to day, because you're really working with the little lid space that you have without completely taking away from it. Now, if you want a little bit more definition without using black or liquid liner, then I think the best thing to do is use some sort of deep, rich, chocolatey brown, or just like a nice deep brown tone, because again, it's not gonna be too harsh and it's not gonna make the eye look smaller. So I'm gonna take Coconut Grove from NARS. I'm just picking it up on this angled brush again. And what I do is I literally just kind of push this onto the top lash line just like so, just to really give my eyelashes and my eye a little bit more definition and just kind of help with the shape. But you guys can see I'm not pulling it higher. I'm really doing my best to just lay the product down and not take it up too high. So I'm just gonna pop on a little bit of mascara because we did the top liner. I'm using Hourglass Caution Mascara. Okay, next tip for you guys is tightlining the top lash line. I think that this gives such a big impact on the lashes and just makes the eye more defined without you having to take up more precious lid space. So what you do is you typically want to go for a long wearing eyeliner formula just because it will be in the waterline, and you're just going to run the eyeliner along this flap of skin basically. And try to get it into the actual lash line too. Like, just kind of push it against those lashes. It just, again, furthermore defines the eye and just gives you a little bit more of a lashy look and more definition in this eye versus this eye. And I just think it makes such a big difference when you want more definition but don't want to use up more lid space. Okay, so the last tip I want to share with you guys is actually how to accentuate the almond shape of your eye without closing the eye off completely. And this is when I think you really need a brown eyeliner. All of this you could get away with using a black or a gray, but for this specifically, I think brown just really looks the most natural and does not close the eye off in any way. So I'm gonna use this one again. And what I like to do is just lightly waterline that lower waterline, just like that. And then actually taking the eyeliner right into the tear duct, just like this. And I feel like this just really accentuates the slendering parts of the eye that go on the inner tear duct and then on the outer part of the eye. I feel like it really just like pulls everything out and just accentuates the shape of the eye without closing it off. Because if you use something that's too dark or too heavy, it can really just close the eye off and make the eye appear smaller. But I really just like how this accentuates the shape without taking away from the size of the eye. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Okay guys, so those are my 5 top tips for hooded and small eyes. Number 1 being choosing the right lash curler. Number 2, curling your lashes with that walking technique. 3, I really think picking pencil or powder liners over liquid is the best way to go, just because I feel like liquid eyeliner can look so aggressive, especially on a hooded eye, and I feel like a lot of times people are wearing liquid liner as like a safety blanket because you just don't feel like yourself without it. But I really think using a more subtle type of liner, you still get all the definition and drama that you want without completely engulfing your eye in a, you know, black stripe. So I think pencils are a really great way to kind of offset that. I think tightlining makes the biggest difference, especially on hooded and small eyes, because it furthermore just makes the top lash line look more dramatic and full without you having to take up any more lid space, because lid space is very precious real estate with a small eye. And then I really think that taking the brown liner all the way from the outer corner of the waterline and really pulling it all the way into the tear duct just really accentuates that beautiful almond shape and just, you know, really plays up the slender parts of the eye, making it just, you know, more apparent and more defined without completely closing off the eye. So I really hope that you guys found this helpful. If you have any other questions about products or techniques in this video, please feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know, because I'm always doing my best to get back to every single one of you guys. So if you guys are half Asian like me, or you're full Asian, or you just have, you know, hooded eyes despite your ethnicity or whatever, definitely leave a comment down below. Let me know like what some of your small hooded eye problems are, and then I can try to kind of like create content to help you guys out with any problems that you have in regards to small eyes, because I know my way around a small eye at this point. So I really do hope you guys found this helpful, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or need any help. I'll always do my best to help you guys. Other than that, guys, I will see you in my next video. Please be sure to subscribe if you didn't earlier, and please be sure to come follow me on Instagram as well, because that is where you'll find me when I'm not here on my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!